All right. Hey, we're live, YouTube. Says I am. So, what's going on? Been kind of delinquent. Try to point this in a better direction. Been kind of delinquent on the morning chats. Try to make up for some lost ground here. See what's going on. See who checks in. I've been missing out on all the good stuff going on. We got talks with North Korea and all kinds of other stuff, and I'm over here slacking, doing the thing. But we've had some crazy weather. Well, not crazy, just winter weather. It's been really windy, and we had tons of damage to the animal shelters and stuff, and I've been doing a ton of work on trying to get them back up and functional and other stuff. Just been really bad weather. Can't get out and make videos. It's been so windy since that real good snow we had. It's been almost 2 weeks ago. We had that really good snow, and we're just getting by. But things are going good here. We got another storm rolling in over the mountains, which is going to be useful. We got enough water stuffed away up there in the mountains to last us a couple of years, I think. Which is good. Hopefully California will start shutting up about drought, but I doubt it. They don't get it. It's not a drought. They're just using too much water. But they'll continue to try to steal from their farmers to make up for it, instead of letting market forces work. You can't subsidize water use and expect efficient use of the stuff. But anyway, there's a couple articles out there about the Californians invading Nevada. It's definitely full-on invasion, like everybody didn't take the warnings 10 years ago, unfortunately. Hey, who we got? All right, we got people checking in. All right, M. Long, Irish USMC vet, Glitch Mod, what's going on? You doubt it? Well, isn't it a war already, Glitch Mod? Just maybe low scale. It's obviously not full scale. Rain, yeah, I'm sure it's raining over on that side already. Mule Team, hey, how you doing, Mule? You feeling better? Have you recovered from your ordeal? Hope looks like you got out of that relatively safely, but any trip to the hospital is not a good time. Okay, on down. So you guys are gonna get me off topic. LA gets a lot of their water from Lake Mead, but they also get a lot of water from the Eastern Sierra, down, think Mammoth Mountain South, the eastern side of the Sierra, from on the California side, which technically should be Nevada if you ask me, but that's a different discussion. But I consider it theft from Nevada, but it's not really from Nevada. But the Lake Mead stuff is Colorado River, etc. But yeah, so anyway, point of the video, point of the chat, this came across my radar today. I found it interesting. We're talking about everything else, but see if I can get this to focus. There's an article. Electric grid attacks cost $10 billion a year. Disaster not if, but when. Wait, what? What electric grid attacks, right? And we've talked about this in the past, how all these little events happen that you never hear about, right? You have a lone rifleman targeting a substation in California with a mid-caliber rifle, stuff like that happens under the radar. But this is a little bit different angle. So I thought it was interesting. We're always talking about solar event, CME event, your coronal mass ejection stuff. But this is from yesterday. This is via, dang, what was this via? It didn't print out. Well, that doesn't make sense. I'll try to get the reference in the description box after this is all over. Sorry about that. I was going to mention it, but now I can't see who this is actually linked to, what website it was from. Yeah, okay. So it says solar generated attacks on the unprotected U.S. grid cost $10 billion a year, and they're escalating. Wait, I thought we were at solar minimum. I thought they'd be going down. I think we need to check that. But makes the system vulnerable to a catastrophic failure that would cut off electricity for months. Federal officials and energy experts warned on Wednesday. So this past Wednesday, apparently there was some government operations committee meeting. It was a 2-hour roundtable where they talked about this, and they said the potential for grid meltdown from a nuclear sparked geomagnetic pulse or a solar triggered geomagnetic disturbance, what they call a GMD. So they're not using CME anymore because it doesn't take a full-on coronal mass ejection to have what they call a geomagnetic disturbance. So it's degrees of scale, I guess, is what they're trying to differentiate. So if you see the term GMD, know that that's what they're talking about. But apparently this is a hot topic in Washington, and the Department of Defense is already working to protect its own systems. The Senate Homeland Security dude on the committee chair compared this to global warming. He said it was just as big an effort would be needed as it is to curb climate change. To think about just in case scenarios, I think we ought to be doing something just in case here. Recent reports, obviously Russia, China, India, North Korea, they throw them out here in this article. The government experts said there is no imminent threat, but others said the grid is already being attacked by the sun and it's costly. So they don't get into further detail about how those $10 billion a year are being, like what type of events are causing $10 billion in cost, but it does mention that's the number they throw out there. So obviously my immediate mind is, well, they're just trying to find a money scheme to find a way to get more money into that bloated defense budget. But it also goes on the consequences of a successful nuclear EMP attack using a nuclear weapon detonated at high altitude, which we've all talked about, are potentially severe and may include long-term damage to significant portions of the nation's electric grid and communications infrastructure. That was the Assistant Homeland Director for Infrastructure Security. Some energy companies are already working to protect their system. But they start here, they close out this with the committee chair saying, let's start with the low-hanging fruit. I'd like to solve this problem now. He added, offering to push for federal spending that could be recovered with fees. Gee, I wonder what kind of fee they would impose at the federal level. They're going to be charging your power bills so they can bloat up some big defense budget of some sort, probably. Thought that was interesting. And then we got these incidents in India and Pakistan with the potential, everybody's floating the nuclear war scenario, obviously, because they both have nukes, but India and Pakistan have been fighting for 30 plus years. If anybody's ever heard of the Kashmir region and studied any of that, like, this has been an ongoing conflict. Just because one pilot gets shot down, everybody goes high into the right all of a sudden, which means they're trying to distract you from something else in my mind. So that was my secondary thought with that. But how convenient would it be to accuse a Pakistan-India exchange of weapons on a catastrophic grid failure worldwide of some sort? Figure out how you do the math, figure out how you do the, blame it. But just a thought in my conspiratorial mind, like, India and Pakistan going to limited exchange causes a few loose button fingers out there in other countries to launch a few, and they prematurely detonate them in the atmosphere to avoid massive human loss, but in the meantime causes catastrophic electric grid collapse. That's how it could go. You never know, right? That's just kind of me thinking out loud, like, this could go bad even with something limited like that. but go bad because of people just having itchy trigger fingers and ready to go, but then they end up in the value of quote unquote protecting human life, destroy the power grid. It could go sideways that easy, I guess you could say. So I guess that's kind of my thoughts on that article. Is they're looking for a way to suck more money, and obviously they talk about we're collecting fees. That's probably going to be on the power grid, either establishment of certification of power supply units, solar plants, nuclear, hydro, any place they can place a fee on something. Plus, who knows, maybe even down to your phone, your regular electric bill, if they could get away with it, even though it's not supposed to be regulated by the feds at that level, but who knows? Anything to suck up money. All right, let me check it in here on all the comments. We got a lot of things flying by here on the screen. Catch up where I left off with water from LA, or going to Cali. Savage Survival, what's going on? Going on for decades, right? Good to hear, Mule. Good to hear. Right, M Long. Was that 2010 when that transformer got shot up? Oh, are you getting bad wind out there too, Irish? Yeah, the wind out here has been brutal. I haven't yet caught up to all the damage. I got a bunch of shingles on one roof. I got all the animal pens, stuff like that. All the animal shelters we're having to go through and repair. It was some significant, I mean, we have bad winds out here. It's windy right now. But this last storm over this past Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was extremely windy. The Northeast Power Grid failure stand, right? It's rumored that there was something in play going on in what's NA, Northern Alberta. I don't know what NA means. Going on in the Northeast, is that a typo? Or going on in North America? I guess it could stand. You Canadians, I don't know if you're trying to throw something special at me. I don't know what you're talking about. Could be Northern Alberta or North America. Hey, Die Bullfrog, what's going on? How you doing, Uncle Al? Maintenance fees, right, Stan? M Longs put solar in his shop. That's solid planning right there. Rogue Preparedness asked a question on the community tab in the YouTube about if cost was no object, what's the one prep that you would get with, you know, if it wasn't for money. And I was like, I need a solar well pump. A solar well pump would be money. ZPD Survival, what's going on? Yeah, heavily fortified mountains. Yeah, our India-Pakistan thing is long going and heavily fortified, like you're saying. People die up there every year, and often it's from the cold and from altitude sickness. They take all these kids from the lower level river valleys and from the, especially India, the sea level people, and they put them up at like 12,000 feet, and the people don't get acclimatized, and they end up getting hypothermia and all kinds of other stuff. Diabullfrog said they passed HR 8 and HR 112. Is HR 8 the universal background check there, Uncle Al? Irish says it'll never pass the Senate. Possible. Steam power is Uncle Al's recommendation. That's all. If you got enough water, I got more sun than I've got water, Uncle Al, so solar's the way to go. And that's a good point there, Stan. Use the methane. That's a good power source, right? Walter Davis, how's it going? ZPD just got more LEDs. Yeah, we've been phasing out just about every light bulb and going to LEDs as well. Okay, you meant North America, Stan? Cool. Walter says there's locust outbreaks eating all the wheat in Egypt and Iran. Yeah, I read something about they're talking about apocalyptic level or Revelations biblical level of locust infestations this year. There's talk of the woman crickets getting bad out here this year. They're getting really amped up from all this water, and everything's really going to have a lot of food out there for a lot of those type of pests and stuff. It's a big concern out here. Wheat for oil. Wheat will be the new currency, says Stan. Wheat for oil. Interesting thought. Maybe we'll go back to, I don't know. I have to figure out something to process, right? Biodiesel is not a bad option. Biomass is always an option. And with our storage techniques, I mean, wheat will last a long, long time. Could be used as a currency of some form. Walter, you can compost manure and collect the methane. There you go. It will burn in, methane will burn in the old case multi-fuel farm tractors? Huh. Did not know that. I'm a criminal, Uncle Al. You're late to the party, Uncle Al, if you're just now figuring that out. I've been an outlaw for a while now. Well prepared to be an outlaw. Measuring everything in grains. You're right. Yeah, everything in grains. So, yeah, just a little bit of comment on those couple situations, and there's a lot of other stuff going on, of course, but I've been negligent in my morning chats and haven't been regular. Maybe next week we'll get caught up on everything and I'll get back in the rhythm. We shall see. Try to do it up. Trying to keep up on the videos. Tactical Tony's been knocking out a few morning chats lately, which has been good. Go check out Midwest Prepper. Midwest Prepper's got giving away a knife. He's giving away his Benchmade knife. You can go see the video. He explains it. Just go check out Midwest Prepper. And it's all one word. I remember I was trying to search something offline one day. Not logged in, basically. And there's a bunch of Midwest Preppers, but it wasn't him. But his is all one word. Midwest Prepper, all combined, to find it. Took me a second. But yeah, he's giving away his Benchmade knife. If anybody wants it, go check out that video. Get in on that giveaway. You can't beat that for a good quality knife. There's no reason. You know, he's already paid for it long ago. He kind of discusses that. But he doesn't want it no more, considering the current situation and issues. And go check that out. Die Bullfrog's always got his daily 1 or 2 videos he's doing. They're always good stuff on prepping. And always putting out good information on the daily. And this place is just busy today. I'm telling you, I don't get it. All summer, this place is dead. Wintertime comes around, and people just all over the place. Don't make no sense. It's like a regular haven. Biodigester. You got plans for that, Irish, or designs? Gotta just look it up. Khloe Kardashian's husband was cheating. News you guys need to know. Okay, Bikes, if you say so. FBI making a list for us, outlaws. Oh yeah, die. Oh yeah, Uncle Al, don't worry. We know we're on the list. We got it covered. We've long talked about the list on here, Uncle Al. You have to go back in the archives. It goes back a couple years ago. I talk about the list and other topics along those lines, but we've been well indoctrinated, firsthand experience in that those occasions. He should turn a bunch of Benchmades into a gun. That'd be pretty good, Stan. That would be a pretty good project if somebody had a bunch of Benchmade knives. If you could get the YouTube community to like pitch them all in, that's something Ebomi could probably pull off. Ebomi's got a lot of connections. Everybody pitch in their Benchmade knives and make a AR out of them. It's like you destroy one, we make one. Hey, we're even Steven now, right? Just fight back, right? That would be awesome. That'd be a good project for sure. Or maybe Bikes could do that. Bikes is a builder. He can make stuff. That'd be pretty impressive. Where you got what's his name? I don't know. There's a couple other people out there that could probably make a firearm like that. Can you 3D print with metals yet? Or are they just 3D printing with other materials other than metal? I haven't seen it's like all the 3D printing stuff is all composites and plastics and stuff. I haven't seen a 3D printed metal item yet. I don't know how that works. But people are definitely getting busy with that 3D printing stuff. That if you could melt down the Benchmade stuff, you'd have a nice lower in no time. Crazy Scotsman's with us. Hey, what's going on, Scotsman? Hope you're doing good. Been out of shape? We are the list, right? This is just the tip of the iceberg list too. And the thing is, we're not even on the tip of the iceberg. We're like in the middle of it. They can 3D metal print. Yeah, very expensive. Okay, that's probably why you don't see it. It's a very expensive printer, I guess, because the metal has to stay cool or hot enough to keep it malleable, right? So that's probably a part of the problem. Yeah, the archives, ZPD. You got archives too, don't you? Yeah, it's literally probably a 3-year-old video about the list and stuff. Getting on the list, all kinds of, all that stuff we were doing back in 2014, 2015. Everything between Bundy Ranch and Oregon, all in that time frame. There's all kinds of stuff about that back there. Melt down the knives and make bullets. There's another one, Scotsman. That's a good idea. You could just cast bullets with them. That would be a good in your face. Either way, anybody that could do it either way. If you only got one knife, make bullets. If somebody could collect a bunch of them together and make an AR, that would be awesome. The Benchmade AR project. I think that would be, yeah, Stan has caught onto a good idea. Unfortunately, the Benchmades cost so much. I don't know that anybody has enough of them to do it. But that would be awesome. So all you gun guys get together, Scotsman, and figure out what you want to do. We'll get the community to support it. I never had a Benchmade, so I don't know, but apparently they're really good knives though, which is why they were did such good business. But they burned a lot of those bridges, obviously. $500,000 for the metal 3D printer, says Irish. Wow. That's a little pricey. I didn't know it was that pricey. And I've seen the ones they've shown where they're making buildings with concrete 3D printers. I'd imagine those full-size ones that are that big, they're like truck mounted. Those are probably just as expensive, I'm sure, but they're super fast. That thing pours and makes concrete structure like that. Very impressive. Definitely time saver, if nothing else. Your aluminum ZPD, your aluminum Mac laptop is warped. From what days? What heated up your laptop? I'm lost what you're talking about there, ZPD. Your Scotsman sure as self and Eric could make something happen. There you go. Stan has planted the seed. The seed of rebellion. The process was adopted from sintered metal spraying used to make engineer bearings. Okay. Back in the day. Oh, you're talking about you're watching your laptop so much, ZPD, that it was melting it down. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, definitely definitely was a lot going on keeping the videos rolling, right? It'd be a one of a kind for sure, Stan. Oh, George has joined us. What's going on, George? Oh, and also, yeah, a little busy with the traffic, right, Bikes? And also today is the beginning of the Davidian Branch Davidian compound assault by the ATF has been noted on social media. If you haven't seen, the ATF actually sent out a tweet recognizing its fallen agents for heroism, and they're getting severely backlashed and ratioed, I guess they call it, for their posts. You know, so the ATF is trying to celebrate today or recognize their quote unquote heroes, and people are definitely giving them grief for it. So that's going on. You don't forget about that. You get your chance to remind people of what's coming for all of us. It's already been tested and approved. Most Americans don't even flinch twice when you mention that stuff. But when people say, why do you need a gun? Oh, well, here's why you need a gun. The government's going to send its agents to kill you. That's why. Isn't it pretty straightforward? Pretty obvious, right? Pretty cut and dry case. So how many dozens of people died in that? How many people died in Waco? Like 36 women and killed children, and then like a dozen men or something. I don't know. Insane numbers. But yet you don't need to be able to defend yourself. That's crazy talk. Thinking you need to defend yourself from the government. And all the kids, Irish. Well, nobody cares about kids anymore, Irish. You know, kids can be born and you can still kill them legally now. And like, they're trying to pass that through the House and everything else. Like, the death cult has fully taken over. And people want to think this whole thing is worth saving. People need to realize nothing good can come from this from now on. It's gotta all be torn down and nothing left standing. Santilli's get into it with the lawyer. Are you talking about Roger Stone or somebody else? I know Santilli was talking to Roger Stone. I don't know. Are you talking about, is that Larry Klayman? Is that you're talking about, Stan? Bike says 9% of Americans support background checks. I never got the poll. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's those polls only go out in New York, Chicago, and LA. Bikes. There's no reason to ask anybody else. They don't need. They can just poll select communities. Yeah, ZPD. Yeah, they were all in a bunker type area, a locked safe room, basically a locked safe room, and they just cooked them. Yep. It is a good theory, right, Bikes? 90%? Yeah, Larry Klayman, right? Right, okay, Stan. Hey, Dad on YouTube, how's it going? Have we averted the government shutdown, Dad? I haven't seen the latest on the full budget talks. It's funny how that's been under the radar, all this North Korea talk, but we're still supposed to be up against the deadline for a full funding of the government through the rest of the year. But that's been like dead. I haven't heard nothing about it. Oh, you're good till October 1st. Okay, it went through in the dead of night then. So they passed the full funding bill. Okay. Yeah, I guess I've been otherwise engaged and missed it. So you can rest easy for a little bit longer. As many of us can, I guess you'd say. The postal guy's going to show up and the tax man's still going to come around. Or he's going to still send you your refund. Oh, also I saw today another thing, sign of the apocalypse. The Queen signed the full Brexit deal, making it official, which I found is funny. So there was an article today saying that the Queen signed the Brexit deal, making it irreversible, is the way the article was worded. That once the Queen signed it, it's irreversible. And my first thought was, I thought they said the Queen didn't have any power. It was just a figurehead. Wait a second. What? That was me thinking, because I've heard that. You hear that for so many years. Like, oh, they're just a figurehead royalty. They're just dignitaries. They don't actually have any power. Well, wait a second. They just said the Queen had to sign it for it to be official. And it's irreversible now because the Queen signed it. So I'm like, okay, you guys live in your little fantasy world thinking the Queen doesn't rule your life. Yeah, so that says it's a full-on go for Brexit, I guess, and as of right now, still a no deal, which they're economically gnashing of teeth about. We'll see how that continues to play out, but they're down to about, what is it, the end of March? 4 weeks left to go for that. I'm gonna have to follow that a little closer now. That looks like it's officially go time. That will be interesting. But the idea that the Queen had to sign it for it to be irreversible just tells me that they have a lot more power than people will admit to themselves. So, just something to think about when you're talking to the what do they call them? I can't remember. The royalists, the loyalists, I guess. I don't know. Those that still worship the crown, as I would put it. So, all right, my time's up, folks. I got to roll out. Hope you enjoy the view. Storm's coming. Storm's coming in more ways than one. Watch that power grid. We'll see what goes down around elsewhere. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for being around, folks. Stan, let me read Stan's comment. There's a meme with the Queen and the evil grin and a message bubble that says, "Time to reign back in the colonies." Okay, Stan. I haven't seen that one. I may have seen it if it was years ago, though. Who knows? You have to repost that, Stan. So you can put it back on the G+ or something on the Twitter. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for checking in.